Hi guys, it's Jacob from Stringbuzz here, stringbuzzworld.org being the music journalism site, links are in the description down below. And we have a brand new song review for you today, and it's of Jack Garratt's latest track, Strong Enough. After being able to see Jack live during his Phase tour, it was a real surprise to see a new music video go up just as said tour was closing. I mean, I only saw him about a week and a half ago in Birmingham, and I think his tour is still going on actually. And to see a music video already being posted is kind of crazy to me. This guy is a workhorse and perhaps one of the most has had one of the most successful musical debuts all year. The only person I can see rivaling him in that respect is Maggie Rogers, and even she can't hold up to his consistency. I mean, Jack has released anthem after anthem using a unique blend of jazz, drum and bass, dubstep and blues, perhaps the strangest combination you'll hear, but does it work? It hella does work. It sounds so good, and I wave my banner up high when I say that he is the most unique artist of 2016, and he has left me gobsmacked more often than not, and seeing him live perform all the instruments at once, oh, this guy is talented. So shall we see how this track in particular stands up to the prior hits, shall we? And to me, it's just another great time, really. Buckets of fun, and yet again, Jack showcases his immense ability. I think his vocal capabilities are the centerpiece of this track, however, with the rest of the instrumentation taking a backseat, allowing for his crazy falsetto to ring out during the choruses. I definitely say that this song is more dedicated to his voice rather than some fancy instrumentals. You know, songs like Worry and Weathered are perhaps more dedicated to the instrumentals, whereas this time around he really gets to let loose, and I think he sounds great. He's definitely got one of the best male voices in music at the moment, and again, I hold that banner way up high. Production wise, the song is as solid as ever, with each beat and each lyric sounding crisp and prominent in the mix. Jack's vocals often have a few EQs placed over the top that perhaps would sound a touch lazy from a producer's perspective, but from a listener's perspective it just covers little holes. Obviously I've spent the entire weekend at Stephen Sonic's studio helping produce the new Snake Charmers record, and when I hear certain these little EQs put over vocals just to touch things up a little bit, I do see them as lazy ploys to try and clean little bits up which were perhaps not recorded right the first time, but I think it would be entirely unnoticeable as a listener. That's just because I've got none of this come down from a studio. The drum and bass elements come to fruition with the wholesome bass that busts your gut throughout the whole track, so even the bass and the synths sound beautiful during this track. Lots of life. The producers had a great day at the office, really, producing this one. Musicality wise, the track is perhaps more electronically centered than your average Jack Garratt piece, but at least that allows for variation to his prior songs. A lot of Phase was made up of piano and dubsteppy sort of stuff, whereas this is more EDM based. And I know we've had too much EDM recently, but I think he does it justice because, again, his voice is the centerpiece of this track. It varies stuff up. It's different, slightly different to what he's produced before, and I like this evolution of him as an artist. Other than the bridge, the instrumentation is largely programmed rather than dry. We don't really get any guitars, and the piano is kept at a minimum for this one. Jack's melodies are frenetic yet catchy and really easy to sink your teeth into, actually. I had a really good time humming this away after the third listen. I felt like I knew the whole song, so that's good. That gives it a lot of commercial appeal, and I think it will have. I mean, he's definitely an artist that perhaps doesn't have as big of an audience as he should do, because I just see him as catchier, and he's releasing songs which I could see, you know, at number one in definitely the top 10 in the UK charts, and it's kind of surprising that he hasn't quite hit there. I mean, he's had his album, the Phase album, obviously did very well in the charts, and Worry did very well, but all in all, his tracks have sort of been towards the 40 area rather than in the top 10. The form actually has a bridge this time round. This is the first track in 2 weeks I've had to review on the YouTube channel which actually has a bridge. No more nursery rhyme form, some proper song structure, and we've got a bridge. Good lord. Sure, it's only a little piano based one, but it does enough to vary things up and allows progressions to change the piece up subtly, but you know, it works. It adds for the climax. The climax is more satisfying, and it allows for a little bit of change rather than just listening to this EDM track over and over again. My main critique for all of Jack Garratt's songs, however, comes in the form of lyricism. I've always found his tracks very uninspiring lyrically, and I often find he overuses the same themes. He never really talks about personal experiences outside of love and romance, and it's a little bit boring after a while. But again, he's only released one album, so it's just to see how he evolves. But then he only, like I said, he only has one album. I was just repeating myself from the original review, so I can kind of expect why he's probably a bit safe using these same themes over and over again. Here the lyrics are slightly less cheesy than usual, but nothing to really behold. A touch forgettable even. I think the lyrics do the job for catchiness. They're definitely memorable in that sense, you know, syllabically, but I do think it's a little bit pandering, phoning it in perhaps. So all in all, I had a great time listening to this track. Both casual and dedicated fans, I'm sure, will love this piece, and yet again Jack continues to write incredibly unique pieces that capitalise to the ever-growing drum and bass crowd without ever pandering or phoning in to a crowd. He's got sort of such a broad audience appeal. I'm so surprised his audience isn't bigger already, because he's got some great jazzy stuff. His blues solos on guitar are fantastic. His drum and bass stuff capitalised on that growing UK audience, which is really into drum and bass. You've got some dubstep vibes, which is probably more stateside bass. You've got some more electronic type vibes, which perhaps cotton back to some 90s type stuff. He's got so many strings to his bow, and I just can't wait to see how he goes into this next album. So I gave this one a rating of 7 out of 10. It's perhaps not as high as many Jack Garratt songs prior to this, but still a really good fun time. Definitely recommend you give this one a listen. If you like this review, leave a like, subscribe to see more, and I'll see you around next time. Bye bye.